Just to let the people who are watching this video know, I'm actually getting about 4 cosplayers to record videos with me in a similar format during all of October because I fucking love Halloween.
Me too.
Do you have a costume planned out for this Halloween yet?
I have 3. So I'm going to the Disneyland Halloween party where you're allowed to wear Halloween costumes into the park, because that's the one time I can get themed photos in my Disney cosplay and get away with it. So I'm going as Alice from Alice in Wonderland to that. And then I'm doing Spinel from the new Steven Universe movie. And then I'm doing Lydia Dietz for the nighttime for a party because it's comfy.
While I was looking over all of your cosplays and stuff, it's clear you're definitely well versed in cosplaying now.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, absolutely. But after doing all these cosplays, do you still remember what it's like when you first did your first cosplay and actually went to a con? What was that like?
Yeah, my first con was 2015. I started cosplaying in 2013. So it was I didn't even know that conventions existed until my friend was like, hey, you want to go to this? And I was like, what is it? And she's like, it's for people like you. And I was like, oh. My first cosplay was a female version of the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who, and it was horrible.
Uh-huh.
And it was for Halloween, because Halloween was a big deal at my old high school, because it was an arts high school, so everybody went full out. And I remember not knowing how to hem, and I didn't hem my dress, and so I remember, because I was a 7th grader, and I remember tripping over my dress, falling onto the floor in front of all the seniors.
Oh no. I remember just walking by seniors when I was in middle school and how terrifying that felt.
Yeah, I laugh about it now, but I was horrified. I was like, I'm fine. But the first costume that I fully made was a gender-bent version of Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid.
I actually saw that one. I thought you did it so well, and you even updated it more recently, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I added some stuff, and I definitely want to add to it more, but I would love to get a whole gender-bent Prince group going, because I've seen art for it. And I would love if, to do a different, Prince again.
Right.
I would love to do Hans from Frozen.
That would be a good one.
Just because, I love Hans.
He's such a fucking sweetheart.
He's horrible.
Wait.
That's why I love him.
Wait.
Because he's a prince and he's a villain.
Oh, I'm totally getting my Frozen characters mixed up. I was thinking of...
You're thinking of Kristoff.
I am. Oh,
yeah,
Hans.
He's just a loser. But yeah, so that's gonna happen someday. But I was really proud of that cosplay when I finished it. I was like, oh my god, I sewed something. I am so talented. And then I looked at other people's and I was like, oh my god, I'm so basic. But it was very rewarding though to see what I could become. I find that so motivational.
Yeah, seeing how far you can go by comparing to other people.
Oh yeah, now I do struggle with comparison in the negative way. I think everybody does, especially cosplayers.
Right.
Because there's so many people out there that cosplay the same exact thing as you. And it's everybody has their connection to this character, and you're like, oh, why does mine not look that good? Or oh my god, they did that? That's so smart. Why didn't I think of that? But you just gotta take that and turn it into, well, my next piece is gonna be better than my previous piece.
Right, that's how you always have to look at it. Just keep growing and making your cosplays better as it moves on, and then you'll be able to compare your first time you created that cosplay to where it's at now, and it's just...
Oh my god, yeah. Because recently was the D23 convention, and that was the first time that I wore that gender bent costume too. And my friend didn't have a costume, so I was like, hey, wear this. And then seeing it on someone else made me feel so good, because it's because then I was wearing something that I had made that it was like really, really good. And I was like, wow, look how far we've come. And like the costume still holds up, which is really great.
That's always a good feeling when you can look back and see and still be like, damn straight.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing your costume on someone else.
Yeah.
I've like let friends borrow costumes of mine before, and it's kind of freaky.
In what sense?
So I was at this convention, Fanime in San Jose, and so my friend was like, hey, can I borrow your Star dress and like wear Star for a bit? And I was like, here, take it, go ahead, because she's one of my really good friends. And people were thinking it was me, and it wasn't. And it was just so freaky because like I saw her from afar and I was like, oh my god, it looks like me.
I did a Deku cosplay one year at the con I did, and then I just set out cosplaying the year after. And someone had almost like the exact same design that I had for mine.
Yeah.
But to have your own costume must be even more intense of that feeling, I suppose.
I like it. I think it's funny. I think it's like, oh my, because there's like a joke with people that know me and it's like, oh my god, is that famous? And like to yell it across the room, just like, is that famous Instagram cosplayer? Because it's like, of course it's a joke. Like,
right.
I do take, like, it's in quotes my job to be a cosplayer, but it's like not really my job because it's like I enjoy it. But like it's so funny because I literally do not take it seriously, and people are like, oh my god, you're so stuck. I'm like, no, it's a joke. I'm a joke.
No.
I'm going off track.
I mean, this is just to interview and talk about you, so if there's any like tangents you want to go off, just absolutely
Talking
feel free.
about me, that's scary.
I mean, you're doing a great job if that helps.
I mean, it's funny because cosplayers, our job is to be other people.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, oh, talk about yourself, not your cosplay or your character, I'm like, what?
That doesn't make sense.
No. Like, it's like the meme with the girl and the math. It's like, what? Does not compute.
I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of you
Please
looking confused of you and then edit that meme in.
Oh my god, please. Please do that. I will laugh my butt off.
So, like I said, you've had a bit of cosplays. You told me that Star was your like go-to, what you're known for. But
yeah.
Other than her, do you have a favorite cosplay?
Like, my favorite character to cosplay, to like wear to a convention, is probably Peridot. Even though like the wig hurts so bad, but like I really, when I'm in Peridot, I feel like Peridot. Like, I will do the voice. That's one of the characters that I can be in character for.
Can I make a request?
Oh god.
Can you do Peridot's voice?
What do you want me to say?
Oh, I mean, you gotta go with the classic. Just go, you Claude.
Okay. I'm at my friend's house, so if they come in here, they're gonna be like, what the? Alright. You Claudes! You crystal temps!
That was perfect. Oh my god, that was so good.
It's called being an annoying short person. It just comes, it's just like a full package.
As an annoying tall person, I can relate.
I did learn from the best, for the love of Claude on Instagram.
Do you actually have a system to pick who you're gonna cosplay as? Or is it just more like, oh, I love this character too much, I need to cosplay as her?
I do have requirements, so they're like branches of like, and then like there are other requirements under each branch. Like, branch number 1 would be, it's what's hot at the moment. Like, I'll use an example of when I did Boozette. I hate that costume. I hate it so much because it fell apart at the con. But I did it because it was like, the con was a few weeks right after when Boozette and Bowsette like blew up. And my friend was like, let's do them. And I was like, okay, I got nothing better to do. I'll do it. And then branch number 2 is a character that I really like their costume. Granted, I might not really like the character, but the costume is something that I really enjoy looking at. Branch number 3 is usually the leading branch. Like, this is like order of like least important to most important. And then branch number 3 would be a character that I really connect to, such as Peridot, Star, Sarah, Beetlejuice. You know, I could name all of these characters that fall under this branch because it's not just like, Grant, there are outfits of Star that I really hate, that I don't like. There's like one where she has leg warmers and I just do not like it. There are 32 outfits she wears in the entire series and I will make every single one. And so I have to do it eventually, but like I love the character so much that I'll put myself through that. I just did Lydia Dietz from the cartoon, and she wears these like gloves, these black gloves. And let me tell you, I lost those black gloves 4 times. I had to buy 2 extra pairs because I knew I would lose them. And I did. So that costume's cursed. Like some of my cosplays are cursed. Like in my like cosplay like group, like my friends, it's like some of the cosplays that I've made are cursed. And so people are like, "Oh no, you're bringing that costume?"
Do you have an example of one?
Anime Expo 2019, the day before Sarah's debut to the public. We're crossing the street to go back to our car to go back to the hotel. It's me, my boyfriend, and my best friend Lily. And it's us 3. So I'm starting to cross the street. It is like the white man for us to go. The stoplight is on. I'm crossing, and this car comes zooming into the intersection. And if my boyfriend had not said, "Stop, Rebecca, there's a car," I would have been hit and probably killed.
Oh, that's a lot more extreme than what I was imagining for curse.
It gets better. It gets much better. And so I thought that was the end of it. I thought that was the end of AX's terror, but no. So I get back to the hotel. I finish my costume in the room. Of course, it's not fully done because cosplays are never fully done. And so the next day happens, and Sarah's debut happens. And you know what happens that day? The earthquake. So we blame the earthquake on Sarah.
I mean, what else could it have been, honestly?
Exactly. And so at LA Comic-Con, because I'm wearing her again, if there's another earthquake, me and my friend will go insane. Because that will prove that she's the devil. It
would. Would you retire her at that point, or would you just be like, I gotta risk it?
I plan to. Well, I want to wear her one more time at KatsuCon because they're having a special ball, and I want to wear her there. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to pack her, just because the only way I can keep her, like, together is in a box. I can't hang her up because it's too heavy for every hanger.
Is there a cosplay now that you don't ever plan to wear again because it was just too much on you, or it was uncomfortable, or any reason like that?
Boozette! Because that cosplay, when I was making it, it was looking great. It was looking great. I thought it was looking great. So we did like ballerina versions of them, and it was a trash fire. First of all, our makeup took forever. And then we got to the con and it was going to close in like an hour and a half. We were like, shoot. So we start going around, and so slowly, ever so slowly, we start to fall apart. Like one of the horns goes, you know? And then we go back to like the con floor. And so Jordan, who's my friend who was Bowsette, I'm sorry, Jordan, if you're listening to this, I'm outing you. She's like trying to put her, because like it was like a headband and then like wire, and then you stuck the styrofoam horn in, and she's like, Rebecca, it's not gonna go in. And I'm like, oh no. And people were like, because they were really popular at the time, people were like stopping us constantly, and Jordan's over here falling apart, and I'm over here like because if I do my makeup like a bit wrong, my eyes start to water really bad. So here's me with like mascara running down my face, trying to like make it positive. We only have a few photos from that. Like we couldn't find all of them, and oh my god, we look so bad. We look so bad. At LA Comic-Con, my friend is having a like Boozette Bowsette like the girl group again, and I got invited to be Boozette, and again I was like, no, I can't. No, I will never do that again.
Do you have a worst and a best con story?
Okay, so I'll start with my best one.
Okay.
So my best one was KatsuCon 2018. No, it was 2019. It was the past year Katsu, and it was the best con I've ever been to. It was the first time I flew alone. I flew from California to Washington, D.C. I was fully alone. It was great because this was my first time meeting all of my internet friends from like the East Coast. So I was freaking out, but at the same time, it was one of the best experiences to meet these people in real life and like actually get to like cosplay with these people and like chat with them in real life and then like room with them. And it was just a really great experience. Just like, it's one of my favorite conventions now. It was just very welcoming and it was very just kind of relaxed, kind of not. And then like worst, it was one of the first conventions I'd ever been to. I was like 15 and I went. This was before cosplay consent like was a huge deal. And looking back on it now, it's the most disgusting thing I've ever been a part of.
Right.
It was me and my friend. She was Ray and I was Elsa. And we went to the con. We were having a great time. It was one of the first times I was like alone. Friend. I was like, oh God, I'm an adult. And this guy, towards the end of the con, right before we're like gonna drive home, comes up to me and my friend and goes, can I get a picture? And I was like, oh my God, yes. I was not used to being asked for photos by just random strangers. And he's like, can I pick you up and you kiss my cheek? My friend, who was Ray, said no. But me, being the go-getter that I am, said sure. And I did it. He picked me up. He touched me in not the best place. And now looking back on it, I was literally like, this is harassment to a child.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. How flat out creepy and
pedophilic. I definitely looked older than I did at that point, but like, it was like, you could still tell I'm a child. Just looking back, that's the definition of like, cosplay is not consent. Like, I am a naive child and you're taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like a huge like supporter of like the cosplay is not consent movement.
I know people do that, but just hearing about it, it's like, why?
And like, it's not just women that get it, it's everyone. Luckily, a lot of cosplayers nowadays are stepping up for themselves, which I find is great.
This next question is a lot lighter than this last bit we've been talking about. Well, it's just the last question I have on the list of things I want to ask you. So Star is your like main cosplay. It's the one I feel like you do, I wouldn't say the best, but when I think about you as a cosplayer.
It's definitely the most like
iconic?
Not iconic, but it's the most polished.
Okay. She has quite a bit of different designs.
32 designs, I believe.
And do you know off the top of your head how many you've done so far?
I think I've done about 14 versions.
Out of those 14, do you have a favorite and a least favorite?
Oh, yes, I do. My favorite has got to be Blood Moon, because I've spent so long on that thing, and it paid off, and I'm really proud of it. And my least favorite has got to be the Stump Day coat. It's not a full outfit. It was just a pain in my ass to make. I remade it twice, and I only made it for one photo.
Well, I want to thank you so much for letting me do this and coming on to our channel.
No problem.
For anyone who doesn't already know who you are, do you want to give a plug to you?
Probably not. Nobody knows who I am. I'm not that popular.
I mean,
but I try. I'm RoseyGcosplay on Instagram and TikTok. It's RoseyGcosplay. If you like the strange and unusual, you've come to the right place. But I also do regular stuff too, I swear.
Well, shit.
Bye.